Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I'd bring you a stock portfolio update, considering I haven't done one in about 1 or 2 months or so. And I know for about the past 3 or 4 months or so, the stock market has been absolutely awful. And it seems to be everyone's doing the same thing and buying all the dips, but the dips keep coming. But since the last update, the account has changed a bit, and hopefully this is the start of things turning around, especially with a lot of the EV stocks. And I thought now would be the perfect time to update you lot on how it's doing. And if you're wondering where I am, I'm actually at the beach not far from where I live, and we're out here rocking up with this sick setup I've got up. As I thought, I'd try to be productive and make a video while I'm getting a tan, but tops on to keep it PG and not distract some of you lot from the video. Before we get into the video, smash the like button if you love the setup. And if you haven't already, sub down below. I'm trying to hit a K by the end of this year. Anyways, let's get into the video. One thing I want to quickly mention is that I've now been sorted out with an iPad, courtesy of one of my mates. As if you've watched my previous video, you'd know that I've edited all my videos so far on my phone. Well, now upgrades.
Upgrades, people, upgrades. That's how we make the dough.
Which also means I can use it to look at my portfolio while I'm doing these videos. Anyways, jumping straight into the portfolio, we're going to look at the invest account first. And obviously you can see the account value is currently at £13,708. We've invested just over 18,500 and we're down 4.8k.
Wow!
Or being down 26%. Now you may be thinking that this is bad, and I'm not saying it's good, but it's been a lot worse. As you can see by the 1 month graph, we've gradually gone up, and the value of the portfolio actually went beneath 10k. And in the past 2 weeks or so, we've literally gained back about £4,000. But as you can see by the 3 months, we're slowly, gradually coming out of this period where it's just been fluctuating and doing absolutely nothing. And by looking at the year, you can see that the dotted line is basically being my average price. And you can see there's a small part roughly back in February when I was profitable, and then the sharp drop where everything roughly about halved in value, where the market's seen a sharp sell-off, mainly in tech and all the EV stocks. Anyways, for the ICER account, I've only got 4 holdings here, and the first one I'm going to start with is Li Auto. Currently with Li Auto, I've got 105 shares at an average price of $28.57, and currently it's sitting at $25 a share. In Li right now, it says we're down 13.7%, but actually, because of the exchange rate, we're actually only down 9.86%. Which isn't actually that bad. But as you can see by the chart, we've gained 10% just in the past week alone, and for the month 32%. Surprisingly, it's actually positive now for the 3-month chart. But as you can see on the yearly chart, this significant sell-off it had. I've been in Li Auto since about November, and still I'm slowly trying to average my price out, but I'm really happy of how it started to recover, and you can see this sharp rise. But a lot of this is to do with their recent earnings report, and if I'm right on this, they've turned over a back-to-back quarterly profit. Next we have the other Chinese EV stock, XPeng. Very similar with Li Auto, XPeng had a massive sell-off. Currently I've got 75 shares of XPeng, still at an awful average price of $55 a share.
Another one.
Currently the stock's worth $37 a share, but it's had awful sell-offs. It started off with that really bullish run-up to all the way over $70 a share, dropped back down all the way down to the 40s, went back up to nearly $60 a share, and then since then it's just gone all the way back down to under $30 a share, and it's now currently sitting at $37 a share. So with this, we're currently down 37.35%, but again, because of the 5.5% impact, we are actually only down 31%. I say only 31%.
Another one.
I must admit, I haven't actually added to my position in XPeng. As I said in my previous update, I did sell over half of my position in XPeng because I did have roughly about 200 shares in this. At the time, I still wanted a position in XPeng, but I wanted to add to my bigger positions, which we'll see in a moment. Looking back, obviously, I wish I'd sold all of it at the time and then bought back at a lower price. But as most people know, time in the market is really hard to do, and you're better off just having time in the market and adding to position as and when you can. But definitely for XPeng, it's going to be the next stock that I will hopefully be adding to, just to try and lower my average price. Now this next position I'm going to show you lot is definitely the worst I've ever had since I've started investing. It's another EV stock, being Solo, or electromechanical vehicles. Currently I've got over 355 shares of Solo at an average price of $8.97 a share. Now all-time highs for this stock I believe are around $12 a share, and I know people that have bought at that peak.
Hey guys, I hope you're having a good day and welcome back to the channel.
I initially bought a little bit higher than what I've got, but I did average my price out, and it was a good average price until obviously the sell-off that we've had since February. The stock sold off well over 50% in a short period of time. So overall I'm currently down 54.35%, but without the exchange rate, 49.62%. Basically, if I didn't average my price out whatsoever and I left it as it is right now, I would need this stock to double in order to break even. That's how bad it is.
Tough time never lasts. Only tough people last.
But Solo is definitely one of my smallest, if not the smallest position that I do actually have, and it was a speculative stock. I wasn't willing to put in loads of money into this. So this one I am actually managing my risk, as I haven't invested that much, as in terms of my percentage of my whole portfolio, just on my invest account, Solo actually makes up under 8% of the account. With this, obviously I'm hoping that it will recover, and I do think it will, but because of the age of the business and what it's going through right now, I'm in no rush to get the money out of my position, and I'm just going to be holding it for the meantime. Now this next one is my largest holding, and for you lot that watch the channel, you'll definitely know what this is.
Let's go Neo.
Obviously it's got to be Neo. This is the stock I've been adding the most to, especially while it's been below my average price. Currently we're sitting at 296 shares of Neo at an average price of $48.60. And right now, as the time of this recording, Neo is sitting just under $42 a share. The return on this at the moment is currently negative 19%, but over 6% of this is actually due to the impact, so actually we are only down just under 13%. Similar to the other EVs, Neo has definitely been recovering over the past couple of weeks, as for a long period of time it was actually in the 30s. And again, this stock had a significant drop, going around from $66 a share all the way down to in the 30s. But I know a lot of you that watch the channel are in Neo especially, and despite its drop, my opinion on Neo hasn't changed whatsoever, just purely because I know that the outside market has had an effect on the stock overall. Other than the chip shortage news, there are so many positive things about Neo right now, and even after what I've got and the percentage that it makes up in my portfolio, I still want to add more. In the short term, I want to add just 4 more shares just to make it that overall 300 shares, but if I can, the aim is to add to this until we're over 1,000 shares of Neo. If anything, I do want Neo to remain below my average price, just so I can lower it and get it on the cheap. But I have a gut feeling that it will get to the point where as soon as this stock breaks $50 a share, it then could have that potential bull run like it did back in September and October. And hopefully when I do these videos this time next year, we'll be looking at a stock that's well over $100 a share. Now getting into the ICER account, we're currently sitting at a value just under £2,500. Obviously I've got a lot less in my ICER account than I probably would want to, as obviously I want my profits to be protected by tax, but unfortunately for a lot of the EVs, they're not actually in the ICER account, hence why I do have them in my invest account. But in this invest account, we just only have 2 positions of current, and just because I love Neo so much, I've invested in a 3x long Neo fund, where I've currently got 145 shares, and we're currently up just under 48% at the moment. Let me know down in the comments on your thoughts on this, as I know it's not Neo, but technically it's still representing Neo, and it is in the ICER, so I have been thinking about putting more into this. And as for the other holding, it wouldn't be an EV portfolio without Tesla. Recently I bought an extra share in Tesla, and I'm currently sitting at just about 5 shares, and right now my average price is $795 a share, with a current return of minus 26.65%, or if we ignore the exchange rate, minus 24%. Now just for a little bit of an explanation, I've been buying and holding Tesla for about the past year or so, and at a lot of points I did take a lot of profit. And there's always that saying that no one ever lost money taking a profit, but knowing that I own Tesla at such a lower average price, obviously yeah, I wish I'd held. But I did actually have this position in my invest account, and I did want to move those funds from that position over to my ICER. Now at the time when I actually did this, Tesla was actually valued over $800 a share, and obviously since then it's sold off again. So you're getting the pattern here. But I must admit, I do like Tesla at this price, as I know the past year they have gone up a significant amount, and I know a lot of people are against Tesla because their PE ratio and things like that, but 100% I'm definitely going to be adding to this position. And predictions for Tesla stock from people like Kathy Woods being at around $4,000 a share for 2025, and obviously who doesn't love Elon? So yeah, I'm not overly fussed about my average price right now in Tesla. As for a lot of these, I'm looking to hold for at least 5 to 10 years and just add to all my positions over that period of time. To conclude, it puts my overall value of my portfolio just over £16,100. So since the last update, where it was around £14,800, we are at least going in the right direction. But obviously we've got to make up a lot of ground, especially on the first portfolio update I did about 3 or 4 months ago, where the value was around £20,800, and that was also with less invested. But going forward, as all of you lot know, the EV industry is definitely the future, and for all you lot that also invest, you know that we only focus on the long term and not these short term fluctuations. Anyways guys, that's it for today's video. If you made it this far into the video, I really appreciate you lot that watched all the way through. Remember to drop a like if you rate the setup, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you lot in the next one. In a bit.